Welcome back to the Gourmet Farmer. I'm your host Jason Persall. We're here standing with Texas Longhorn cattle. So you're thinking Texas Longhorn cattle in Ontario? What? I've never heard of that. Well, they're here, and we're here at YU Ranch with Bryan Gilvesy. And you know what? This is our mission. This is how we fuse the field with a chef. So let's go visit with Bryan and we'll take a tour. Here we are with Bryan Gilvesy of YU Ranch. Bryan, tell me why we're standing here in front of a stream. Many of our viewers don't know why we'd be staying in front of a stream on your farm, but go ahead, tell us all about this.
Jason, I want to expand your thinking of what a farm is and what a farm does and how a farm operates. Our hallmark here is that we farm with nature. We try and use every aspect of nature, and we try and leave nature a better place when we're done with it. We feel that we can provide healthier food this way for the consuming public, improve the environment, and hopefully improve the profitability of this farm as well. We want to find a place and a niche in the market. We think this is the way of farming in the future. I like starting here by the stream. This is a cold water stream that bisects our place. We have about a 100-acre woodlot here, Carolinian woodlot by the way, which is really fascinating in and of itself. But this stream, we feel that because of our activities here, is better than it ever was. It's colder, it's clear because we've buffered it and we've kept the cattle back. You'll see all the natural flora and fauna down here that's occurring. For instance, everywhere we'll go today, we're going to talk a lot about flowers. Flowers naturally occur throughout the season to help bees, and we do more for bees on this ranch than anybody that I know of. But let's get back to the stream. We've done things on this stream to cool the outflow water, to improve the quality and cleanliness of it, and we've reestablished brook trout in this system now. It's all very fascinating because this cleanliness and this pristineness is in the middle of a fairly significant sized cattle ranch. Let's just go take a look.
Absolutely. So Bryan, where are we in southern Ontario here?
We're in beautiful Norfolk County. Norfolk County almost defines what Carolinian Canada is all about. Norfolk's a fascinating place because at one point we were down to 8% tree cover because we didn't look after our landscape. But we learned over time to use nature to help rebuild our landscape. Norfolk's now verging upon 30% tree cover, and we have an interesting record here in Norfolk. We have the most biodiversity right next to the most diversity in crops in the country. But remember, all these things, they're wonderful to look at and we enjoy them, but they provide function. The most important thing heading forward that these trees do is they sequester carbon.
Absolutely.
When trees grow, they take carbon from the sky and they sequester it in the wood and in their roots and into the soil, and that's an important function. And what I'm trying to point out to you, Jason, is we don't see that this farm only performs one function of providing meat for healthy meat for people. We see there's a further function for sequestering carbon, for helping biodiversity, for holding our landscape down from wind erosion and rain erosion. There's just more function out here. And some of that function actually helps us farm. Let's go on out there and I'll show you all about that.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, Bryan, it looks like we're in a different part of the country. We walked from a beautiful forest and now we're out here into more farmland. Tell us about what we're looking at.
Jason, it's important to recognize one of the things that we think about our part of the world here is that it's a working landscape. We have an obligation to look after nature, but we have an obligation to feed people too. That's what farmers do.
Yeah.
And we try and find symmetry between these things. Now, we talked about the prairie grass earlier, a natural system. It's a native ecosystem that we planted back here in this field right behind us in 2006 for habitat restoration and for ecosystem replacement. But let me draw for you the difference between the cool season grasses to my right, which are alfalfa and orchard grass and that sort of thing, and the prairie grass pasture to my left. The cool season grasses are imported originally from Europe, and they thrive very well in the early part of the spring, but they don't like temperatures over 30 degrees and they don't like lack of rain. So they provide feed for a significant part of the season, in particular the spring and the fall. The tallgrass prairies, on the other hand, love heat, love dry. As a matter of fact, the root systems are 12 to 15 feet deep which means that's the reason why they sequester so much carbon, almost 1.85 tons per acre.
Wow.
So we use the two systems together. We have the cattle on the cool seasons and the cool season, and this provides drought season feed.
So why Texas Longhorns?
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Oh, they are gorgeous.
A lot of people don't know this because they think they're Southern American cattle, but in the beginning of time, they ranged all the way from Mexico up into southern Alberta. They're originally formed from escape cattle that settlers like Christopher Columbus brought with them because they needed something to eat. But they escaped out of the western range and survived there for 400 years, developed into an independent breed through survival of the fittest. These cattle, their hallmark is they are completely 100% functional. They don't exist for us, they exist for the propagation of the breed. We call it a maternal breed. Everything is in favor of the females, and what we have behind us, this is all females behind us with their calves. But the point is, because they survive through survival of the fittest, they have incredibly hard hooves, very strong elastic udders. They calve on their own. They can travel and get their own food. They can go long distances without breaking down. And most importantly, perhaps for us, they're naturally lean. These cattle have 1/3 the back fat of the domestic breeds we use right now, which is significant because we can make meat that's reasonably well marbled right off the grass because they're such efficient users of grass, and not put that unhealthy back fat on the plate. So for us, this breed has wound up working perfectly within our setup here. They thrive within nature in these natural conditions, and they put a healthier, leaner product on the plate that our customers find delightful.
Well, thanks a lot, Bryan. Enjoyed traveling around your farm today, and you've got a website where people can go to and learn more about your ranch. Tell us what that website is.
Sure do. It's www.yuranch.com. yuranch.com.
Well, that's excellent. You know what? All this talk about beef is making me hungry. So let's go visit our friend Chef Tracy and see if she's got something brewing.